Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1.
Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports.
Hello, everybody. Welcome into another edition of From the Rough. It's America's favorite golf podcast right here on FanStream Sports. I'm IndyCarTim, your host, and I'm going solo on this Monday for the Cognizant Classic recap as the great PGA of America member, Mr. Johnny Gerber, is once again traveling, as he is often known to do, even on show days, because it's just the busy life that he leads. The jet set, the world traveler, I don't know how else to put it. He's just always busy. I don't even know where he is. That's how busy he is. Could be Columbus, Ohio. Could be Kansas City, Missouri. Could be Tampa, Florida. Could be out at Pebble this week. I don't even know where he is. But the golf show goes on. He is not bigger than the golf show. I am not bigger than the golf show because the golf show here from the rough is for you, the people. There's no us without you. We appreciate each and every one of you guys tuning in. And if you are a fan of the Johnny Free from the rough, then here you are. If you're a fan of the IndyCarTim Free from the rough, well, good luck to you because that probably will never happen. I'm just saying. It could, and I wish it would from time to time. I just don't know that it will. But we have lots to celebrate here on this Monday as we recap the 2025 Cognizant Classic for you with the leaderboard, grading the players, talking about Joe Highsmith. We have another first-time winner on the PGA Tour and a guy who barely made the cut. It shows you how absolutely important that Friday round is. And those guys that are down at the cut line, because anything can happen to you if you just show up for the weekend. If you're able to make it to Saturday, literally anything can happen for you as you continue on the weekend. And we talk about it often. We don't pay a lot of attention to the cut line on our recap shows because those guys usually finish near the bottom, but it doesn't always have to be that way. And this weekend was one example of how it was not that way. After he made the 2025 Cognizant Classic cut right on the number, Joe Highsmith made the most out of that opportunity. He signed for a pair of 64s over the weekend at PGA National. He raced through the finish line, carding a tournament total of 19 under, claiming a two-stroke victory over Jacob Bridgeman and J.J. Spaun. It was the first PGA Tour win of his career. Highsmith is the first player since Brandt Snedeker at the 2016 Farmers to make a cut on the number and go on to win the tournament. It's the 9th time such a comeback has occurred on the PGA Tour in the last 50 years. So, again, it doesn't happen often, but it can, as it's just now twice in the last 10 years, 9 years, 10 years, and just the 9th time in 50 years. So, excuse me. With his first trip to the winner's circle, though, Highsmith locks up a couple of things. His status on the PGA Tour for the next 2 years is good. He moves up 113 spots in the FedEx Cup standings to number 10. And not only is he in a good position now to make the postseason for the first time, but the Tour sophomore has also secured invitations to the Masters and the PGA Championship. His lone major championship appearance came 4 years ago in the 2021 U.S. Open. He's just 24. He's punched his ticket now into the remaining signature events on the Tour, starting at next week's Arnold Palmer Invitational if he wants to. He also has the opportunity to kick off his 2026 campaign in the Maui at the Century. But if you watched, you'll see he started the weekend in South Florida 8 strokes off the 36-hole pace. He cut that deficit in half thanks to a momentous moving day. But that wasn't the end of his upward trajectory. He took advantage of the par 5 third, rolling in a 20-foot birdie putt on number 4 to kick off his final round. He then just had a flurry of pars that preceded a pristine wedge shot into the par 4 ninth. He added another circle onto his scorecard before the turn. He hit all 9 greens in regulation on the front. That always helps. Another birdie on the par 5 came on the other side of the turn. It catapulted him to just one behind Bridgman, who posted the clubhouse lead at 17 under, thanks to a final round 64. A lot of low numbers over the weekend. It was fun to watch if you got to watch it on TV. One hole later, though, Highsmith pulled even with Bridgman with a birdie connection from 20 feet. As overnight leader Jake Knapp finished up his front 9. Knapp knocked in a birdie on number 10 to push the lead to 18 under, where Highsmith was just about to reach with an aggressive roll up the hill from 13, just outside 15 feet. The two of them stood at 18 before Knapp made a fatal mistake on the par 4 12th. Wielding a short iron in the middle of the fairway from 153 yards out, Knapp dumped his approach on number 12 into the water. Short of the putting surface, he chose to play his third shot from the penalty area, and he just compounded his mistakes and carded a triple bogey to drop out of the lead and what would be contention of the tournament. As players like Michael Kim, Russell Henley, Ben Griffin, and everyone else struggled to keep their heads above water, Highsmith surged forward. He had a nifty up and down on 14 to set the stage for his final stroll around the bear trap, where he hit all 3 greens in regulation and capped it off with a 22-foot birdie putt. Plenty of breathing room to spare there after that. He hightailed it down the par 5 finisher, put the finishing touches on his second straight 64. His 128 over the weekend set a new tournament record to boot. And as we get into grades, is there anything you can't give Highsmith anything but an A+, right? I mean, you have to give him an A+. Nobody saw this coming after his rounds Thursday and Friday. But it was fun to watch. It was fun to watch that surge, and it was fun to watch him excel in areas where other players were struggling. And I don't know that at any point watching this tournament on TV, I thought he was going to win. I don't think I ever thought he was going to win until 18. Even when he had that 2-shot lead heading into 18, I don't know that I thought he was going to win. I guess I just really didn't think about it too much. But it is what it is, and he certainly earned it, certainly deserved it. You can't say somebody gave it away to him because everybody was struggling except for him. And, it's always fun to see guys win in the bucket hat, too. That might have been my favorite part. Now, it wasn't a Srixon bucket hat, but I'll let it fly because it was a bucket hat nonetheless. He plays those Pro V1s out there on the tour, so he had the Titleist hat on. But, I love watching these guys, especially the young guys in the bucket. You never see these young guys wear bucket hats. I think it's great when we have the bucket hat in the winner's circle on the tour. Again, A+ for Highsmith. Wanted to talk a little bit about Jake Knapp. Finished at 15 under, tied for 6th. It was his tournament, I thought, to win until it wasn't. The 18, 36, and 54-hole leader went into the final 8 holes of the tournament in possession of the lead, but with a single decision, threw it all away. He hit his second shot on number 11 short into the water. Knapp decided to take a swing at his penalty submerged golf ball. It led to a triple bogey 7 and dropped him from a share of the lead to 3 strokes off the pace. While he became the 14th player to shoot a sub-60 round, he also became the 5th straight to do so and walk away from the tournament without a trophy. So decision-making is what did Jake Knapp in. Still, though, for Jake Knapp, by Jake Knapp standards, I have to give him an A on this. Again, it was his tournament to lose. One bad decision is all it takes, though, sometimes. And winning is hard, guys, on the PGA Tour. I'm telling you, we all know that, right? I certainly don't play on the tour, but I can tell you it's tough to win. We've seen it. Another guy we follow pretty closely here on the show, Johnny's a little bit bigger fan of him than I am. At 14 under, tied for 9th, Jordan Spieth. He was kind of a late addition to the field. He made the most of his tournament debut, though, after he was dealing with that hand injury. He and Scotty Scheffler both dealing with weird hand injuries to kick off the season. I joke around because they're both UT guys. They're both T-sips. I always joke around. They gave each other hand herpes. I don't know what else you want to call it. They just contracted hand herpes from each other, and they've been dealing with it ever since. But Spieth carded 4 under par rounds. He ranked 5th in strokes gained off the tee. Might have been the most impressive on the putting surface. He made a ton of putts. His struggles in the last 2 years can be tied to that wrist injury, but also his inability to putt consistently. That has hurt him over the course of the past couple of seasons. He's got a new putter. He's made substantial strides in that department in the early stages of this season. He did not play his way into next week's tournament, but he does continue to show signs of life. I think the tour's better when Jordan Spieth is playing well. He even said after the fact, he said he thought he was trending in the right direction. He felt like he played better than he did in Phoenix, although Phoenix is probably a better fit for him. But, Torrey Pines throw that out because he always struggles there. So, yeah, A-, I think, for B+, A-. We'll go A-. I'll give him a little bit of the benefit of the doubt here as he continues to improve his game after the hand herpes. 12 under, T18, Luke Clanton. After narrowly missing out on his PGA Tour card at the Phoenix Open, he made amends at PGA National. He made the cut with room to spare. He secured his 20th point in the PGA Tour University Accelerated Program as the FSU junior locked up his full-time status on the PGA Tour. He made a run at the title early on Sunday, but he had some inaccuracy off the tees that hindered his chances at the title a little bit later. And that's okay. This is a young dude. I really like Luke Clanton's game. I gave him an A for his performance over the weekend. Don't know that there's much more he could have done as he continues to grow and get experience on these courses. And he couldn't have been happier if you watched his interview after the fact, that he said, at the end of the day, it's just golf. He's right. You got to get up there pretty close at one point, and then you got to finish strong. He just he's getting close. He just has not been able to finish. Another couple of guys, Ricky Fowler, T18, finished at 12 under as well. So for Ricky, the 2017 champion here, it was kind of a weekend to forget, definitely a Sunday to forget for him. He entered the final round just 3 strokes off the lead, but he failed to get any momentum going forward. He played his first 10 holes in even par, but by then the rest of the pack had blown past him. But otherwise, pretty solid week. He ranked inside the top 10 in driving and greens and regulation. He overcame a shaky short game performance, or a shorky game performance. Might show up in Webster's dictionary someday. For Ricky, I thought this wasn't a typical Ricky performance. I'll give him a B-. I thought for the weekend. Again, especially on Sunday, that hurt him quite a bit. But again, Ricky's somebody that's kind of coming on. He's finding his game. He's made some changes. And I think that he's got some possibilities here to show up in the winner's circle in the next couple of months here. And then one of the guys I thought that surprised me, maybe my only true F of the week, and I'm pretty sure Johnny would agree if he was here, as he missed the cut, it's Sungjae Im. He had a real promising start to the season, but, man, he has just gone in reverse since then. A couple of finishes outside the top 30 have preceded a couple of missed cuts, with the latest coming this week at a place where he entered the winner's circle before. He's played well here before. He's lost strokes on approach in 5 of his last 6 tournaments. He's been held winless since the fall of 2021. The good news is, though, he's going back to Bay Hill next week where he's finished no worse than T21 in 6 starts. But Sungjae Im, I'm sorry, you get a big fat F for your week. And I just, Yeah, I just that was extremely it's been a disappointing season for him. I don't know if we expected him to play better here. I didn't we didn't really talk about him in the preview much last Wednesday, but it is what it is. M's got to improve his game. He's got to figure something out here soon, and he'll have a good opportunity at Bay Hill next week, where he typically plays pretty well. But overall, I think a fun week, a good week. When you got a first-time winner, it's always a good week. Congratulations to Joe Highsmith grabbing his first PGA Tour win after hitting right on the cut number. We should all be so lucky, Joe. And I expect more from Joe this week. I think Johnny would agree. We expect more from Joe here. We'll continue to follow that storyline as we will be back with you on Wednesday for the Arnold Palmer Invitational preview from Bay Hill. We should be back in studio, ready to give you a complete recap or a complete preview, as well as Johnny's winning picks for Bay Hill. He was not here to go over the picks that he had for the Cognizant, and I'm not very good at doing that, so I'm not even going to try to explain what went right and what went wrong for him. But please follow us on all of our social media. I am at IndyCarTim. He is at J. Gerber, PGA Pro. The show is at From the Rough PGA. The network is at FanStream DFW. We would love to have you follow along and look for Wednesday around lunchtime, if not before, somewhere there in the Xverse, as well as on Facebook, Instagram, and all of that. The Johnny's winning picks for you for Bay Hill coming up. And we can't wait to preview that for you on FanStream Sports, on the mobile app. And then later that same day, it'll be 5 o'clock Central. We'll do the live show on YouTube, on X, and on Facebook, if I have a voice left by then. And then later that same day, wherever you get your podcast, it will be available for you before we return for the recap the following Monday. But we will do it all again on Wednesday, boys and girls. Appreciate y'all tuning in here. Apologize for not having Johnny with us, but you know what? It is what it is. Can't always be together all the time. It's a lesson you have to learn as an adult. But we will see you on Monday. Until then, boys and girls, y'all keep hitting them straight.